Number 10. We start this list with a discovery that, although small in size, is colossal in impact. In the jungles of Papua New Guinea, scientists discovered two species of terrifying-looking ants, Phydola dragon and Phydola viserion, named after the dragons from Game of Thrones. These tiny creatures have massive spines on their bodies, which were initially believed to be a defense mechanism. However, advanced 3D technology studies revealed that these structures actually allow them to balance the enormous weight of their heads. This finding not only proves how little we know about unexplored ecosystems, but also exposes a disturbing biological evolution, where the shape of these insects seems taken from a nightmare. But if you thought tiny ants with oversized heads were disturbing, get ready, because what comes next defies all logic, and could be lurking in the jungle, watching silently. Number 9. On Bougainville Island, a hiker captured a hairy, strange figure, staring at her without making a sound or moving. Paralyzed by fear, she took a picture with trembling hands before fleeing. Wanimetian. The image sparked speculation about the possible existence of an unknown creature in the Papua New Guinea jungle, reinforcing previous accounts of similar encounters in the region. Number 8. If what lurks in the dense jungle of Papua New Guinea chilled your blood, what hides in its waters could make you never want to approach a river or the ocean again. In this region, where nature still holds unfathomable secrets, sightings of creatures that defy all logic have been recorded, and one of them left a man permanently scarred who was only trying to fish. In 1995, fisherman Alphonse Licky had a terrifying encounter on Ambungi Island, a remote territory with only 90 inhabitants. While diving in shallow waters, he heard a loud splash behind him and saw a creature about 4 meters long, with skin covered in ridges, an elongated head similar to a snake, small front limbs, and muscular hind legs with membranes, like a duck. The creature moved slowly underwater before disappearing into the entrance of an underwater cave, leaving Licky paralyzed with fear. Terrified, he quickly climbed into his canoe and fled. His testimony generated speculation about the possible existence of a prehistoric remnant or an unknown creature living in the deep waters of Papua New Guinea. If a prehistoric creature hidden in the depths of the ocean is already terrifying, what comes next is even more disturbing, because it is not about monsters hidden in the jungle or water, but about a horror born from human fear. Number 7. Deep in Papua New Guinea, there is a belief that has caused countless tragedies. The Sanguma, the modern witch hunt that continues to claim victims to this day. Unlike the witch tales of the Middle Ages, Sanguma is not just a myth in Papua New Guinea, but a brutal practice that still persists. Many communities believe that certain people, mostly women, possess evil powers capable of making others sick or killing them with just a curse. When someone becomes ill or dies suddenly, the blame falls on a supposed witch, and the community reacts with chilling violence. Sanguma victims are hunted, tortured, and even killed in the most atrocious ways. Sometimes, the accused are forced to confess under extreme torture, and once marked, there is no escape. The mob, blinded by panic and superstition, becomes judge and executioner. Despite efforts from the government and humanitarian organizations to stop these practices, belief in Sanguma remains alive in many remote villages. The attacks occur in the dark, in places where the law does not reach, and where superstition is stronger than reason. Many victims are expelled from their communities or live in hiding to avoid being the next on the list. Sanguma shows that sometimes the greatest horrors do not come from creatures hidden in the jungle or in the depths of the ocean, but from the human mind itself. Number 6. If Sanguma revealed the darkest side of human fear, the sixth entry on this list plunges us into an even more disturbing mystery. It is not about beliefs or superstitions, but something real, something that emerged from the depths of the ocean and was stranded on a beach, bewildering an entire community. On January 12, 2024, the inhabitants of the small island of Simberi in Papua New Guinea woke up to a disturbing find: the decomposed corpse of a marine creature that no one could identify. Its skin, whitish and in an advanced state of decay, made it impossible to determine its origin. It lacked much of its head and had strange cavities in its body, as if something had devoured or torn it apart before it reached the shore. The confusion was immediate. Some locals claimed it was a never-before-seen sea monster, an abyssal creature that the ocean had spat out. On social media, images of the corpse sparked speculation. Some believed it was a dugong, others a cetacean like a whale or dolphin, while some experts even suggested it might be a shark in an advanced state of decomposition. The most unsettling thing is that we will never know for sure what it was. Before scientists could analyze it, the locals decided to bury the corpse, as if they wanted to get rid of its presence as soon as possible. Number 5. If the Simberi globster showed us that the ocean still hides terrifying secrets, what occupies this spot is even harder to explain. It is not just a mysterious corpse or a legend without evidence, but a shocking testimony of something that shouldn't exist. An encounter with a creature that seems to have escaped from prehistory. In the depths of the jungles and rivers of West New Britain, Papua New Guinea, locals have spoken for generations of a colossal beast that roams the thickets. It is known as Kayamunu, and those who claim to have seen it agree on a chilling description: a being with a long neck and tail, smooth brown skin, a head resembling a turtle's, and an imposing height. But the most shocking detail is that it walks on 2 legs. One of the most recent encounters occurred in 2005, when a man named Robert became a witness to something impossible. While exploring the area, he saw the huge creature, between 12 and 15 meters long, peacefully feeding on vegetation. After satisfying itself, the animal moved forward with its enormous body and, effortlessly, submerged into nearby waters until it disappeared into the depths. When Robert was shown a dinosaur book to identify what he had seen, he pointed to an image of a therizinosaurus, although he clarified that the Kayamunu's head had a different shape. If his story is true, we might be facing one of the most striking pieces of evidence that something from the dinosaur era still survives in the most unexplored regions of the planet. The existence of Kayamunu remains an unresolved mystery, but its story adds to the growing list of sightings of impossible creatures in Papua New Guinea. And if this being is real, what else could be lurking in the darkness of the jungle? Number 4. We are slowly getting closer to the most terrifying and enigmatic entries on this list, and in this spot, we find a case that completely defies everything we thought we knew about our world. It is not a simple rumor or a story distorted over time. It is a documented, recorded event witnessed by dozens of people at the same time. A sighting that, to this day, remains without a logical explanation. On June 26, 1959, at the remote Anglican mission of Boyanai, Papua New Guinea, Father William Gill and 38 witnesses saw something in the sky that left them speechless. A huge luminous craft silently floated over the village, with a metallic structure that reflected light and seemed completely solid. But the most disturbing part came next. According to Father Gill's testimony, several humanoid figures appeared on the top of the object, seemingly observing them. These were not mere lights or shadows. They were beings with defined appearances, visible heads and limbs. And the strangest thing, when the group of witnesses signaled to them, the beings responded with gestures. For over half an hour, the inhabitants of Boyanai remained on the ground, watching that ship that defied all logic. Some people claimed the figures seemed to be making repairs to the object, as if something in its structure needed adjustments. Then, without warning, the craft slowly ascended and vanished into the night. This sighting is considered one of the most impactful UFO encounters in history, not only due to the number of witnesses, but because Father Gill, a respected man with no interest in spreading wild theories, signed a detailed report on what happened. To this day, no one has been able to explain what he and his congregation witnessed that night. Number 3. What comes next is a creature that was not only seen by multiple witnesses, but terrified an entire community. Unlike tales of mysterious beasts lost to time, this case occurred in recent times, in 2004, when a police force armed with M16 rifles was deployed to track something that seemed straight out of a nightmare. In the island province of East New Britain, near the city of Kokopo, residents began reporting the presence of a terrifying creature. According to witnesses, the being measured over 3 meters in height, had a head similar to a dog, a tail like a crocodile's, and a body as thick as a massive 278-gallon water tank. But the most disturbing part was its behavior. It was not just a fleeting sighting, but a real threat. Locals claimed the beast roamed the swamps formed over the ruins of the old city of Rabal, which was buried by a volcanic eruption in 1994. From there, it was said to come out to hunt, killing dogs and causing panic among the population. The fear escalated to the point that authorities decided to intervene. Armed with M16 rifles, the police conducted an intense search of the area, but found nothing. However, witnesses continued to claim they had seen the creature with their own eyes, like Christine Same, who described its appearance as huge and horribly ugly. The Rabal beast was never captured, and to this day, it remains a mystery. Was it an unknown animal, a species that science has yet to identify, or something more sinister lurking in the swampy shadows? But what comes next on our list is even more disturbing. It is not a legend lost in time or a rumor without proof, but chilling accounts from soldiers who, in the middle of World War II, experienced a horror they never forgot. Number 2. During World War II, an Australian soldier stationed in Papua New Guinea went into the bush to attend to a basic need, unaware that he was about to come face to face with a creature that defies all logic. As he crouched, he noticed he was surrounded by an extensive spider web, not the classic web shape, but a dense network of white, cottony threads covering the ground and extending to the tree trunks. But then, something made his blood run cold. Just a meter from his face, hidden among the silk, was the creature that had woven that dreadful network. A spider of enormous size, with a jet black body and thick hairy legs. Its body was not thin like a tarantula's, but bulky and heavy, the size of a small puppy. Paralyzed with terror, the soldier slowly backed away, never taking his eyes off the creature until he could flee back to his unit. This was not the only case. Years later, another testimony reinforced the mystery. A man named Craig told an American radio program how his grandfather, also stationed in Papua New Guinea during the war, had an even more terrifying encounter. According to his story, in an area near Port Moresby, his grandfather came across an even larger spider, nearly a meter in span. Unlike most giant arachnids, this one was not hairy, but had a bright emerald green color. The sight was so shocking that, overcome with fear, the soldier attacked it with his machete until he killed it. These testimonies have left one question hanging. Could spiders of such monstrous size exist, hidden in the thickets of Papua New Guinea? To date, science has not identified species matching these descriptions, but eyewitness accounts continue to appear, keeping alive the fear that somewhere in the jungle, these creatures still await among their webs. Number 1. What takes the top spot on our list is something that has not only been cited for decades, but continues to puzzle explorers, missionaries, and scientists alike. A being that many claim to have seen soaring through the skies of Papua New Guinea, and that not only has a massive size, but glows in the dark. Since the end of World War II, there have been testimonies about the existence of a being that should not be here. The natives call it Ropen, which means flying demon. It is said that this nocturnal creature has 2 enormous wings similar to those of a bat, a long serpentine neck, a crest on its head, an elongated tail, and a mouth full of sharp teeth. To make its existence even more disturbing, witnesses claim that the Ropen emits a bioluminescent glow in the darkness, lighting up the skies before disappearing into the mountains and forests. One of the most shocking encounters occurred in August 1944, when soldier Dwayne Hodgkinson, an experienced American pilot, saw a gigantic being in the Finschhafen region of Papua New Guinea. According to his testimony, the creature emerged from the thicket with a powerful flap of its wings and flew over the area. Its wingspan, he said, was comparable to that of a small airplane, about 7 meters. The most terrifying part was that it wasn't a simple bird, but something much more primitive. The Ropen is not just part of local folklore. Over the years, explorers and scientists have gathered numerous pieces of evidence that seem to confirm its existence. An ancient map from 1595 shows the silhouette of a flying creature over New Guinea, with a long neck, a crested head, and membranous wings. More recently, in 2006, an expedition team managed to capture in a photo what appears to be a Ropen in full nocturnal flight, emitting a mysterious glow. Testimonies from locals indicate that this creature is not only real, but has even been seen attacking human remains at funeral ceremonies, feeding on corpses in the dead of night. Even more disturbing is the fact that similar sightings have been reported in Indonesia, Vanuatu, and other Pacific regions, suggesting that this creature is not alone. For many, the Ropen is a pterosaur that somehow survived extinction and still inhabits the most unexplored regions of the planet. If this is true, we would be facing one of the greatest revelations in the history of science, or a living nightmare that continues to haunt the skies of Papua New Guinea. With this, we come to the end of our list. But the stories of this enigmatic place are far from over. From the depths of the ocean to the skies lit by unknown creatures, Papua New Guinea remains a territory full of mysteries, and perhaps terrors we have yet to discover.